विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यन्निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिवोद्भूतं यथा निद्रया यः साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्र्यचित्रीकृतं मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यभिमः योगी वयस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ स्वप्नावस्था इति चेत् जाग्रदवस्थायां यत् दृष्टं यत् श्रुतं तज्जनितवासनया निद्रासमये यः प्रपञ्चः प्रतीयते सा स्वप्नावस्था सूक्ष्मशरीर अभिमानी आत्मा तैजसः इति उच्यते। सो स्वप्नावस्था का इति चेत means if you ask so that what is swapnaवस्था, then this is answer. Always iti chet means this, if you ask so, like that. So like in between Purvapaksha and Siddhanta also this is like that. Siddhanti always starts giving answer with this words, iti chet, if you ask so, then this is our answer, like that. So always this is very common phrase in our Shastra, please keep in mind, iti chet. I mean always it goes with the if. Chet indicates if. Anyway, so then Jagradavasthayam yat drashtam yat shrutam tad janita vasanaya nidra samaye yah prapanchah pratiyate. Yah prapanchah pratiyate means it is the world which is experienced. Pratiyate means it is the world which is prapanchah means world. It is the world which is experienced while in sleep. Nidra samaye saptami. Nidra samaye while in sleep. And how this world has been created? Oh, it is not created, don't worry, it is projection. Projection. Maya projects also something. Maya does, avaranam on Brahman and projects this creation. And avidya also does the same thing. Does avaranam, covers and projects. The same thing. Avidya at an individual level. Maya at a samashti level. But these two things are there. Avaranam and vikshepam. Avaranam and vikshepam. That's how avidya and maya sometimes they are equated because of this. Avidya also covers the nature of oneself, right? And projects other than that. Projects other than that means all our self-confusion which are so-called created is due to that. Also, this dream also is created like that. It is a projection. No, nothing is created at the individual level. Nothing is created at a samashti level. I mean, this is how Vyashti Samashti. All the creation, so-called creation takes place. So-called creation takes place only when the avaranam is there. Only when the covering is there. Covering on what? Covering the self. And the covering the self means here at individual, what is the self? That is called Kutastha. And what is the self at a samashti level? That's called Brahman. What is the difference between Kutastha and Brahman? There is no difference. There is no difference. But with the individual, that is, this is all has been discussed in what is Kutastha and what is Brahman, and Kutastha is Brahman. All this in Panchadashi. Where Vidyaranya has a lot of leisure. He goes slowly and covers everything. So Swamiji, this is what is Kutastha, what is Sakshi, what is Brahman, and what is Atma, and what is... So from a particular angle, but ultimately it is one and the same thing. Now witness, you cannot call Swamiji at a samashti level, the Brahman is called Sakshi of the entire creation. No, it is not fair that way of saying. Here what is going on in the mind all the time, I am the one who is a witness. I am the one who illumines all the thoughts. I am the one from whom all the thoughts are born. I am the one I am the one who sustain all the thoughts. I am the one in which all the thoughts resolve. And so I am all the time illuminated. Even this witness, etc., don't give too much importance. I am telling you, it will create a new concept of the self which will be difficult to remove. So I am a consciousness. Everything is witnessed. Don't think that I am really a witness of a thought. And people, that's how they do a sankalpa. The moment you do the sankalpa, you are swearing away from the nature. There is no sankalpa at all. In Atma being akarta, sankalpa indicates a kartrutva. And please don't do that. I am just consciousness. Please hold on to that. Don't say I am witness of the thought and all that. That is not going to help. I am very truly telling you all this. Because, see, why you are saying like this with so much of emphasis and a lot of excitement and all? Because there is a reason. When you say that I am a witness, then there is definitely something called witnessed, which is different from me. And then there is no Vedanta. This is Devanta. So this witness idea, people are fascinated with this idea of witness. Don't go too much in that. There is nothing other than you. And therefore, whatever is there, it is just it is a kalpana by the Maya. Therefore, Maya itself is a projection on me, and what is created by Maya is a projection on me, and everything is non-separate from me, and therefore everything is me. That is, when you think that way, you have assimilated Vedanta. When everything, this witnessed, that also is it's something to be dropped. But now when you have to tell this avasthatraya sakshi, then you take avasthatraya as it is. Right now considering that as a experience, states of experience. And then you have to say, I am the witness of that. Well, that is okay. But ultimately, witness is nothing but the consciousness. And in consciousness, there is no status called witness. There is nothing called witnessing, etc. And therefore, witness and witnessed, everything is consciousness. And therefore, I am consciousness. That's how I like Pujya Swamiji's words of meditation. I tell you, that's a real glory. That in my presence, everything takes place. Non-separate from me, everything, as though emerges, sustains and subsides. I am just a presence. I am a presence. I am self-existent consciousness, and in my presence, talking takes place. In my presence, thinking takes place. In my presence, walking takes place. In my presence, digestion takes place. In my presence, thinking takes place. In my presence, decision takes place. Everything in my presence. Then you see yourself as mere presence. That is Sat. That is Sat. So don't this witness idea also. Well, of course, we have to discuss this because avasthatraya, these three states of experience are there. And with respect to these three states of experience, you have to be narrated as an experiencer of the three states. That is called Sakshi here, as such, witness of the three states, etc. But ultimately, this witnessed is also, is all mithya. It's all mithya. And the experiencer also is equally mithya. Waker and waking state experience is mithya. I alone am the waker. I alone am the waking state. Entire waking state is I am. That's a knowledge. That's a knowledge. So hold on to that. I am a consciousness, well, who appears as a waker and the waking state. I am the consciousness who appears. Projection. Please understand this. I am the consciousness, well, who appears as a dreamer and this dream state. I am the consciousness who is a deep sleeper and the sleeping world. That's ignorance, etc. Well, so this is how we have to cover any time any kind of a division. Well, that is not Vedanta. Any moment a division occurs, called witness and witnessed, or any other kind of a division, well, then you are moving away from Vedanta. This Advaitam means Advaitam, nothing other than me. And therefore what you experience also is you. And in that case, where is the question of witness and witnessed? Nothing of that sort. Anyway, this is just by the way, because you know much more. But what I'm saying is, this witness kind of a thing also, don't hold on to that. Don't hold on to that. I am consciousness, hold on to that. Please, hold on to that. I am just consciousness and all pervading consciousness. And there is nothing other than me. And I am the one who is self-existent, etc., etc. These are the things to be hold on to in case for a clarity purpose. But nothing other than to be hold on to. We have to, this distinct from three bodies and all that. These also, that's how Pujya Swamiji and even Swami V also used to tell us very emphatically. These are all models. Please understand, these are all models. Just to arrive at the truth of the self. That's all. Drop the model. And don't take them as a distinct from three bodies and nothing of that sort. I mean, three bodies become equally real. You say you are a distinct from three bodies, means you are one reality and three bodies are another reality. So don't hold on to this kind of a thing. This is just a model has been taken. In as much as there is nothing other than Brahman, then where is a question of where is gross body and where is subtle body and where is everything. No, Swamiji, they are there. They are projection. Okay. And projection means basically a kalpana. Kalpana by what? By Maya. That's all. By Maya. Or avidya, whatever you want to say. So avidya is a karanam. Karana shariram is a karanam for to this shariras. Okay, that is it has karanam, it has created these two bodies. It is a projected. It's a projected. That's all. Even karana sharir itself is a projection on Brahman, honestly. That is how due to avidya this Brahman appears as an individual. Just appears as a jiva. That's all. So the jiva itself is a projection on Brahman. And then jiva will be considered as a waker and deep sleeper and dreamer, etc. Also is a kalpana. Anyway, this is by the way. So the models are very beautiful to arrive. The models are not there. One can never arrive at a Satchidananda Atma. Very difficult. So models and different models are there. Somebody used to ask me also, Swamiji, one Acharya holds on to this particular model and the other Acharya holds on to this particular model. Somebody holds on to Abhasavada and somebody holds on to Pratibhimbavada and somebody holds on to Sapnavastha and somebody holds on to waking state. All that. Even if they are hold on to, there is nothing to worry. Through that holding on to a particular avastha or a particular model, ultimately they arrive at one thing alone, and that is Satchidananda Atma. So if somebody likes some prakriya, then you will find different acharyas always talk about different prakriyas. In fact, Sureshwaracharya ji and Vidyaranya Swami, and they are on one side in Abhasvada, etc. And Vidyaranya likes Abhasvada. And Pratibhimbavada he doesn't like Pratibhimbavada. He doesn't like, even he shows, so many faults in Avachedavada also. Well, but Swamiji, if Jnanam is ultimately, it is a truth, then why all these things? Let it be there. Why we should worry about? What they talk about the truth, is there a different or not? Instead of Satchidananda, if they arrive at Asat and Achit and Anananda, if one Acharya tells like that, then there is a problem. That's a different thing. But what they arrive at is a one thing alone. And for that they have adopted one particular prakriya. What a big deal is. Prakriya is equally mithya. And what is involved in the prakriya is also mithya, and the prakriya also is mithya. Everything is, that's the joy. Joy, enjoy it. I mean, you enjoy all the prakriyas. Ultimately, the truth is one. And that's the truth everyone talks about. And the great acharyas have a big difference. I mean, in terms of prakriya, big differences. We need not worry about that. That's how the human mind is. So the human mind, you can imagine what a way of thinking. Varieties of the way of thinking, even including all darshanas also, we should enjoy. Because we have a view. We hold on to the view. That's a point of view. Somebody asked me, Swamiji, you tell you have a view and they have a point of view. They are saying they have a view and you have a point of view. What will your answer will be? Well, our view is Atma is limitless. Now show me, is it a point of view or it is a view? They all say Atma is a karta, bhokta. Somebody says, Sankhya says Atma is a bhokta. Nayayika says Atma is a karta and bhokta. Now it's a point of view. Why? Because I am able to accept. I am able to accept. Atma is bhokta. Yes, correct. And yet I say Atma is abhokta. Atma is bhokta and yet I say Atma is abhokta. Atma is karta, I say, and then I say Atma is akarta also. Well, so who has accepted who? I have accepted them. Then point of view, what is whose point of view? They have a point of view. So when I say I am limitless, means whatever is there, that is Atma alone. Now karta is Atma or not? Yeah, Atma. Bhokta is Atma or not? Atma. Then who has accepted whom? Who has accepted whom? I have accepted Nayayika. You ask Nayayika. Nayayika says Atma is Bhokta and I am saying Atma is a Bhokta. Will he able to accommodate me? No way. No way they will accommodate. But Swamiji, how can you say Atma is Bhokta? I say Atma is limitless. And so whatever any darshana talks about, we accept it from a standpoint. That standpoint is explained away. That particular standpoint is explained away by Vedanta. They cannot explain Atma is abhokta. They have to reject it. And I say in reality Atma is abhokta and Atma is bhokta is a conscious entity. Well, yes, it is true. This is how it is. That basically bhoktrutvam is in mind and Atma, basically gets reflected in the mind. And so, due to this identification with the mind and this consciousness, ultimately, it appears Atma bhokta. Well, that's fine. Are you able to explain Atma is abhokta? I am asking to Sankhya. No, we will have to reject. Atma is bhokta alone. Atma cannot be a bhokta. And he cannot accept my position. Otherwise, he will be in trouble. Atma is bhokta, that's his philosophy. And Atma is abhokta also is a philosophy. Well, they say you don't have any stand. So view is this, one who accommodates everything. And we say the Atma is basically limitless. And so whatever you want to say, that may be true from the standpoint of a Vyavarika, from the transactional reality, it is maybe true. Well, in the real, that's how Bhagavan says. Bhagavan, what I am saying right now is Bhagavan told in 4th chapter. Tasya kartaram api mam vidya kartaram. Well, I am the karta as well as akarta. So we have accepted. Everyone. Whoever tells Atma is a karta, like Nayayikas, etc. Vaisheshikas also. Well, we say it's okay, fine. Tasya kartaram api mam vidya kartaram. मैं करता भी हूँ. I am an agent of action and I am not agent of an action. Entire Vedanta is explained away through paradox. There is paradox and paradox. This is the way we explain. Yanisha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagrati sanyami yasyam jagrati bhutani sanisha pashyato mune. This is how it is. So paradox. Tannejati, tadejati, tanna ejati. I am going to talk in evening. This is how it is. Atma is Ashcharya. Anyway, let's not go. But I wanted to clarify. Something comes in my mind, then I feel like clarifying because I forget. Many times I forget. Anyway, so here Sapnavastha is this. Yah prapanchaha pratiyate. The projected by the impression born, which was sin, which was heard. Yad shrutam, yad drashtam, etc. We have to consider other things also. What was smelled and what was touched, etc. Which was seen, which was heard in the waking state. I, Atma, identifying with this, right? Yah prapancha prati, Sukshma Sharir Abhimani, I Atma, which is identifying with the subtle body, is called this dreamer. That's called here Taijasaha. There is a reason. We will see that reason. So here, very important word in the entire definition is Nidra Samay, Yaha Prapanchaha Pratiyate. The word which appears at the time of sleep or during the sleep is a dream state. So whatever world appears to you as an experience at the time of sleep, that state of experience is called a dream. And why you are saying this Nidra Samaya is so important? Because ultimately from the waking state there is no direct connection to the dream. In the waking state there is a... One minute, somebody had to come. So in the waking state, this there is an order of reality, and that reality is in which that involves an identification with this gross body. And with this identification with the gross body, you cannot go to the dream state because it's a different order of reality. And therefore, you cannot suddenly drop from identification with the gross body to the as a dreamer body. It's not possible. So one definitely has to as though die away to this reality. I mean, one has to give away this identification with the physical body, and then you again in a sleep you give away the identification, and then you create another world which you experience. Well, that is called a dream state. So you wake up to half the dream. I'm half to the dream. We have seen that yesterday, of course. I mean, if you wake up to totally to again to the identification with the physical body, well, then you are a waker. But during waking, then the dream, what is dream is possible, that is daydreaming. So we are saying here emphatically Nidra Samaya, because during sleep only you wake up half waking up. So not totally waking up. Total wake up means you wake up to the physical body. And then that wake up to the physical body is nothing but identification with the physical body. So you are not totally waking up. That's called Ardha Jagrata Avastha. Ardha Jagrata Sthiti, I mean the half waking. And so this is how, and so you basically first go to the sleep, and as though giving up this reality and giving the identification with the physical body, etc., and then you get this. Now yesterday I told you that we will have, we'll just compare a little bit between two states. There is big comparison, in Mandukya, big comparison. And with Jagrata Avastha and Sushupti Avastha, Jagrata Avastha and Swapna Avastha, etc. Anyway, so the dream reality experience is the same as in the waking state, because when you dream, our expression is complete, as though. So in that time, you affect the world and you are affected by the world. In waking also, you affect the world, you are affected by the world. Kartrutvam and Bhoktrutvam. As such, there is no Kartrutvam, Bhoktrutvam in a dream state. You are basically a Bhokta. What comes, you experience. But during dream, you feel that you do a lot of things. You affect the world to an extent. But so basically, unlike the waking state, here you don't have a freedom. That way I am saying there is a difference. You don't have a freedom. You don't have a choice. And therefore, definitely, you are not choosing as though in a dream. Basically, what comes to you, you experience. So that is more of a Bhoktrutvam. You cannot, and that is why. But Swamiji, basically, I feel even in a dream, I do a lot of things. It looks definitely. But definitely, what is the problem is, if you are really a doer there, exercising your freedom, exercising your choice, and suppose you are really karta there, then definitely you will generate some punya papa. But nothing. Even in dream, suppose you kill somebody. That's an example. You kill somebody. There is no papa generated. In fact, the whole dream state is an experience of your punya papa in a little measure. Halka punya. It's very, very light, because you enjoy also something for a moment, and you undergo experience of pain also for a moment, and therefore your punya papa, which are very, very thin, let us say, or light punya papas are experienced in dream. And but Swamiji, can you give some more logic? Yeah. See, when you go to sleep, there itself the suspension of prarabdha is there. There itself suspension of prarabdha. And therefore, in the sleep, during sleep, you create something. Well, it is not, your prarabdha has not started yet. But your basically punya papa, which is there in a very light, this one, you experiences. So you can say, I am experiencing my prarabdha, but which is a very, very light. But you don't have basically a kartrutvam by which you really become a karta and you really affect the world. Well, that is not the case. But it looks as though in a dream you affect others, means you are a karta and affecting others. You express yourself and affecting. So experience and expression. Like in waking state, here it looks like, but not in a big way. Basically, you are an experience either of a pain or pleasure, and that too, as I told you, your karmas of the prarabdha, well, which are of a very, very short duration, very light karmas, you undergo as an experience, and therefore, so you are affected by the world and you affect the world. Because I am explaining you Pujya Swamiji's statements basically, because all this has to be clear in your mind. So in dream, you don't think that after all this is a dream, why should I bother? Because even if you think like that, it is a part of the dream. This is what is happening in the waking state. I am giving you a similarity. In waking state also, this is very common in India to say like this is all Maya, this is all Maya. So person doesn't know. He has not even studied the tea of Tattvabodha. He says this is all Maya. And what is Maya also he doesn't know. And neither he has come out of the Maya. Nothing. But still in waking state, because he is suffering some kind of a pain, or he sees somebody suffers and he wants to make the person come out of it. So he says, don't worry, this is all Maya. So in waking state, remaining in a waking state, and experiencing the Maya, and also you say this is Maya. This is how in dream also. When you say this is dream, suppose it is a part of the dream. Could you follow? It is part of the dream. When you are in a waking state, you say this is all Maya. Remaining in Maya, you say that. Remaining in Maya, you say that. Remaining in a waking world, you say that. Well, that is how. So same way while dreaming, you may say it is a dream. It is a part of the dream reality only. And therefore, in dream, the reality experience is exactly as it is in waking state. We have to take that way. The big difference between that is what you do during a waking state definitely it becomes your earning. And well, it is not the case in a dream state. And so exercise, that's what we discussed yesterday, if you remember. Well, you exercise your choice, etc. and you have purusharthas, etc. and you pursue those goals also. All this is waking state. And in the process of pursuing goals, you create new punya papas, etc. also will be there. But in dream, even if you feel that you are pursuing something, you are earning money, and in the process of earning money, you have, some adharma you have done because of the greed for the money, etc. In dream also you may see like that, but it doesn't generate adharma at all, papa at all. So you basically experience punya papa is one thing, but you don't express really. You are not really the karta you're not really the karta of creating any kind of a dharma or adharma. Even you may be doing a charity in a dream, suppose. In pandemic situation, you had gone to hospitals and served the people and like that, etc., etc. And you do lot of service. You see like that because this is a situation going on right now. So you may see all this and you find yourself a very, very benevolent person and helping so many people and all that and consoling a lot of people, and then you come out of the dream and you feel awesome. What a big, I have done so many good karmas. It is all part of the dream only. and therefore nothing. Unlike waking state, you don't generate punya papa. Basically, the whole dream world is an experience of your prarabdha in a very, very light way, because it is momentary, either sukham or dukham, pleasure or pain. It is very, very momentary. But whenever, one thing we have to remember is, whenever any kind of a sukha dukha takes place, either in a dream, either in a waking, definitely it is our own prarabdha. And that is how people have a different kind of dreams. One see the dream of a thief, and other sees a dream of a something that he has got a lottery or something. Well, so he enjoys. I mean, he is very happy in the dream, and I may be very, very fearful. I am seeing the thief. So that shows that one undergoes according to one undergoes experiences according to one's own karma. That's there. But deep sleep state is definitely suspension, because you neither experience nothing. No, Swamiji, I enjoy deep sleep state. But sir, when you enjoy deep sleep state and etc., sukham etc., but you are not aware. As an experiencer, you are not there at all. And therefore, well, that is not the case. Then how can you explain that there is a sukham etc.? That we have given explanation, and we will be giving you also. Don't worry. But basically, these two states are there where one undergoes experiences of pleasure and pain. But the difference between the two, that way it has a similarity, but at the same time, and there is a difference between the two states, Jagrata Avastha and Sapna Avastha, and that difference is, well, in Jagrata Avastha you create new karmas also, exercising your choice etc., which is fully awake, and you do it also. In dream, that is not the case. As it arises in dream objects, you undergo different types of experiences. So a dream state is a great help of us, even though this dream analysis is not necessary. That's very true, that dream analysis is not necessary to for us to understand what is Atma or Anatma. But so we need not analyze so far as even sleep is not required. That's very correct. That to know what is Atma or what is Anatma, basically we need not take these two experiences at all. For arriving at the reality of Atma, etc. But since they are also a state of experience for us, we account for it. That's all. We don't arrive at only waking state is sufficient to arrive at even the Ananda of Atma, or even to arrive at the Satchit nature of Atma. Waking state is just enough. Nothing else is required. But still you talk about the Sapnavastha and Sushupti Avastha and all that. That is because they are also a state of experiences like the waking state. And then we have to account for those experiences. And so we discuss about it. So basically we are concerned with the realities, and we want to know whether I am a waker, whether I am a dreamer, whether I am a sleeper, etc. Because these three states of experiences are there as experiencer for me. And so we analyze what is the reality for me out of these three. Or I may be distinct from all the three. I may be a witness of all the three. What is that? So that's how we are analyzing and arriving at the nature of Atma. Well, and these three states of experience reveals the presence of Atma. That's a beauty. That's a beauty. So I am present in waking state as a waker. I am present in the dream state as a dreamer. I am present in the deep sleep state as a deep sleeper also. And therefore, if I am present in all the three, then I am neither of that. Also, definitely I am neither of that. That's not my reality, because that's just an incidental thing. So waker is there definitely. I am a waker also is okay. But I am not just waker. I am dreamer too. I am deep sleeper too. Then, then there is a mixture. No mixture. No, when once, from waking to this dream state one goes, one nidra samay, one totally dies to the waking world, including time, space and everything, even dying to the waker and the waking state, totally, and goes, leaves behind everything. Therefore, I must be totally distinct from this waking state and the waker, etc. So basically, if I am present in all these three states, but invariably I am present in all the three states, and well, then definitely I must be distinct. And so it is not any one of the three. Atma is not any one of three, also, we can say. Now, further in definition, it has been told, yat shrutam, yat drishtam, tad janita vasanaya. How dream world is created, that's what it has been told now. So whenever you are awake, basically, the varieties of experience that you go through leave behind a certain memory. That is how it has been defined by Nayayikas, that Smriti is always, whenever you experience something, and the experience definitely ultimately takes place in the mind. That's how we definitely, outer world also we experience, correct? That is out there, no problem. But ultimately that enters through the gateways, and ultimately you experience the world, what appears in your mind. You appear in your mind, definitely, ultimately. Even though your eyes go out and everything, bring the data, and the whole data appears in the mind. You see that data only. That is how, otherwise how Rajju Sarpa is possible? How Rajju Sarpa is possible? So there is a Rajju, and definitely data must have come from the eyes, I am sure, as a Rajju only. But when it goes through that and appears in the mind, it becomes Sarpa there. So this is how it is. Ultimately, what you experience is your mind only. And therefore, this is how it is called as a Sakshi. So you are basically a knower of your mind. You say, I am a knower of the outer world. That's correct. That's correct. But that outer world, enters through the gateways, 5 gateways. And as it appears in the mind, and that is how you see a person. You definitely see a person. He enters and appears in the mind, but then you already have some kind of a color. Already. Because there is some branding is involved. Some branding is involved. Because the way you start reacting as a knower of that person in your mind proves that definitely already he has been colored, painted, very well painted, very well. And therefore we have to remember, ultimately what we experience the world as it appears in the mind. I am not saying it is just a mental projection. I am not saying that. That's a different vada. We don't want to go into that. I go by Pujya Swamiji's words, and therefore basically this is how it is. Ultimately, the world which appears in your mind, you see. And definitely data must have come from the outside, because your phrase, your sentences reveal. This is, you say. Even you put a hand also like that. This is snake. And that shows clearly that something from the outer world has gone in. So it is not just mental projection. Please understand. It is not just mental projection. They call drishti srushti vada. We don't want to go into that, and that we don't give reality also. It's a vada in a Vedanta itself. But we say srushti drishti vada. Srushti is there. That is there. It has a transactional reality, and definitely it enters in the mind, but it doesn't enter as it is. As it appears in the mind, there's something change some change occurs. Not in all the cases, but in some cases definitely occurs. And that this is how. So the world which is experienced in your in your mind lives behind the footprints, and therefore whether you experience the world in terms of sounds or in forms or in smells, in taste and in touches, all go through the mind ultimately. Without getting registered in the mind, the experience will not be registered at all. And therefore it definitely goes to the mind, and it leaves behind the footprints. And therefore, and that footprints, it becomes a storage. All the footprints of our so many janmas of experiences are in the storage, and that is we call them impressions. Impressions born of the experiences in the waking state, in a different yonis, in different lives, all the previous lives, including this life also, the previous time, all. So whatever you experience in a waking state, definitely your mind should be awake. In a waking state means your mind should be fully awake, and then it experiences, and then it always leaves behind a footprint, like beautiful desert is there, and you see the footprint part of a camel in that all the time. So this is how it is, and that is their storage, and that storage of impressions called vasanas. And from there something emerges. Some of the vasanas which are there from the storage come out in a conducive situation, which can bring about a particular kind of impressions. That's called memory. That's called memory. So the vasanas, only when they manifest, not all vasanas can manifest, only few of them manifest. And therefore, once you have eaten some kind of a dish, and before few years, and and that has left an impression that this is a very good dish. And then after 10 years, 15 years, you experience same kind of a dish, then immediately it comes, oh, I have experienced this, that was really good. So the impression comes out in a conducive situation, conducive to particular vasanas to come out. Those vasanas, well, they come out, we call them memory. Udbhuta vasana, they call. Udbhuta. Udbhuta means which has arisen, which has manifested in your mind, depending upon the conducive situation. And conducive to that, those impressions, then they come out. They are called vasana. So vasana and smriti are not big difference. Vasana means a storage. All are there in an unmanifest state. And in a conducive situation, they arise. We call them memory. So udbhuta and anudbhuta. Anudbhuta is a vasana. They sometimes called samskaras, also sometimes called vasanas. But vasana is basically good word, and here it has been used also. Tad janita, yat shrutam, jagrat avasthayam, yat drashtam, yat shrutam, tad janita vasanayam. Tad janita. And so whatever you have experienced, or whatever you have seen, what you have heard, what was heard in the waking state, from there the impressions born. And basically impressions are born, and from those impressions a bunch of impression comes out. When you sleep, and then only bunch of impressions, only that part of mind is active. Mind has many things. Mind has basically ahankara also. Aham vritti is also silent. Mind has all the emotions, etc. Sankalpa, vikalpa, etc. That's also is as though silent. And the decision faculty also, well, that is also silent. But chittam, where this is a storage, chittam we consider as a storage of all this impression. That part of the mind, chittam, well, that becomes active. And from that, some of the impressions comes out. But Swamiji, out of so many, because I have undergone so many experiences in this life also till today, and so many experiences of previous lives. And impression of previous life is not of a human life. All lives. I will tell you why, even as a monkey, I have experienced something. Hey, Swamiji, are you monkey? I'm telling you, because everyone must have undergone all. Jiva being anadi, and therefore, more than once, we must have gone through all the yonis. And that is very clear when you see the creation. I will talk about it later. But basically, the thing is, so some of the impressions out of a big storage, some of the impressions only come during the sleep. Why? Why is a particular bunch has to come out? Karma. Okay? Karma. Therefore, that halka fulka karma, the light karmas, which basically they are going to create the entire dream world. And some of the objects in that dream world give you joy and some give you pain or something. Well, that's how momentary, but they give. And therefore this karmas basic same way when person dies, you see this, we have to compare. Here after going to sleep, some of the impressions arise and create a dream body. Please understand this. Create a dream body, create a dream world. Exactly happens when the person leaves this prarabdha. It's like a deep sleep state. Maranavastha is like a deep sleep state. And then a new prarabdha comes. In that both the things are there, karma and vasana. And so there you get a body as per your karma and vasana. And you experience the then waking world, whatever waking world, for the yoni, particular yoni. So if I enter into a lion body, depending upon my vasanas and karma after dying away from this body, well, then I will have a different kind of experience. I will not have like a human experience. So a different kind of experience. So same world, but his world is little different in terms of pleasure and pain, everything. So see, beautiful it is. So same like this. Now, like I want to undergo experience in a dream state, and a dream world also should be there, and I need a dream body, dream senses, dream mind, and the consciousness definitely to experience. All this is created. All this is created. Consciousness, of course, is not created from Bharata, but consciousness, now as a waker he was, now he becomes a dreamer. That's all it is. But the dream body should be there, dream senses should be there, dream mind should be there. All this is created. Gross body, subtle body. In dream, they are created. From where? From where? Your karmas, your vasanas only created. Like this body right now. Created from what? Vasanas and karma. Same thing. And then I experience right now. That way, and I experience right now pleasure and pain every day. Every moment my karmas are unfolded, which is called prarabdha, and I experience pleasure, pain. Same way in a dream also. And this karma and vasanas give him a dream body, while the consciousness which was as a waker now enters in the dream body. And therefore consciousness is free basically from gross body, etc. But let's not go into that. And then experience the dream objects. Well, but the difference here is the dream objects and the dreamer both are basically the dream body and the dream subtle body, dream gross body, and the dream objects, all created from karma and vasana. Right? Some bunch comes out. Same way after dying away, really dying away, not nidra. After dying away, same way, a bunch of karmas and vasanas give rise to definitely a particular body, gross body, waker gross body we should tell, and waking definitely the subtle body. Well, that is there. And so then consciousness is right there. Whereas the subtle body appears, same immediately it shows as a jiva himself because of the ignorance. Right? Subtle body is there, and for definitely consciousness is going to get reflected. It is right there, it is all pervasive, and then he undergoes an experience, a particular kind of experience, as a lion or as a mosquito or whatever. A particular kind of experience he undergoes depending upon prarabdha. So this is how it is. We have to understand. So yat drushtam, yat shrutam, jagrat avasthayam, and what was seen here and what was heard, and then we have to add everything. So whatever we have seen, heard of, stands for all forms of experience during the waking state, and from there, well, we undergo this kind of an experience called dream state. And this is our model of explaining a dream experience. Some people give an explanation through the nadis, etc. And neurologically also they give another model for a sapnavastha. They explain this experience of a dream, etc. They explain it differently. And these nadiwalas also they explain differently. But this is how we say. And Puri Acharya said very beautiful thing. which I would just like to tell at this moment. Is there a Punarjanma or not? Well, Puri Acharya says, even on this 30-40 years, you have given up so many bodies and entered into a new body. Given up and entered into a new body. Every night, you give up this body as though, because prana is there, so connection is there, but you give up as though identification with this body, you enter into a new body in a dream state. And therefore, if you enter into a new body like this, and the next day, suppose if you see a dream, well, definitely that dream body of a previous day has died. Now this is a new dream body you get, right? So how can you say a new dream body? Next day, next bunch of vasanas and some karmas, because previous day you saw a tiger and you got so much of, you became so fearful. Next day you saw something else. Perhaps you may see the nature as such. That kind of impression also is that you might have gone to some garden, some botanical garden, and you have seen all these tulips and everything, and next day you see yourself sitting in that tulips garden or something, or moving in the tulips garden that day. So definitely new karma and vasanas. There previous day new karmas and vasanas, third day new karmas and vasanas. Then if you are getting a body and entering into those bodies, you are the same. You only say, I saw yesterday that dream, and now I saw that dream. Now I saw this dream. I don't know what kind of a dream tomorrow I will have. I mean, you, the consciousness, goes into, as a jiva, let us say, as an individual. The waker enters that. Take that way, no problem. So as a jiva, as an individual, you undergo varieties of the experiencing even in the dream, taking varieties of the bodies. If one jiva takes up different bodies every day in a dream, then why cannot you believe that there will be Punarjanma also? Depending upon karma and vasanas, you may get a new body. Why not? You are already, so many bodies you have entered every day in a dream, and therefore it is logically possible Punarjanma is there. And depending upon karma and vasanas, definitely one will gain also. That's just by the way. So now it is last sentence. Sukshma Sharira Abhimani Taijasaha iti uchyate. In dream you undergo an experience in which there is a Sukshma Sharira, because there is no identification with the Sthula Sharira. Then otherwise it will not be called as a dream state. And so you do not identify with the senses, of course that you know very well. You do not identify with the senses. Without identifying with the senses, you have a sensory experiences. That's a dream state. Without identifying with the senses, you have a all sensory experience. Well, it is a dream state. Because in dream you see, you smell, you eat, right? You feel all taste also, and you feel heat and cold and everything. I mean, without senses, because senses have resolved. Only mind is awake, right? Part of the mind is awake, and from that the whole thing is created. And therefore, but still you have all experience, all perception, etc. Well, sense perception, but without senses. Sense perception with the senses, waking world. Sense perception without senses, dream world. So this is how we have to understand. And well, so mind along with the prana, of course, prana we have to consider. Swamiji, prana is there or not? Because you are all the time speaking, mind is there, mind is there. So what about prana? Well, prana is there, we have to accept it. And if prana will not be there, Sukshma Sharira activity also like this will not be there, then the jiva has moved away. Karana Sharira also will live. So Swamiji, you never talk about Karana Sharira, but Karana Sharira we have talked. And whenever I say Sukshma Sharira goes, you have to take Karana Sharira also goes along with. He doesn't have any alternate. Karana Sharira has no scope of not going. It has to go. It has to go along with the jiva. So far as jivatvam is there, this Karana Sharira is alive. In a Jnani, this Karana Sharira becomes so fragile. So fragile. That's how they say, even this for Jnani, gross body also is fragile and it may go, it will go. Even this subtle body also will go and Karana Sharira also will go because it is already fragile. Because Ajnanam has gone away, Sanchita has gone away, so many things have gone away. And Karana Sharira, which was once upon a time so fat, when he was ignorant, it was so fat. Now he has reduced. Ignorance is not there. Sanchita is not. Swami, Sanchita cannot go. Sanchita also goes. No Agami. Kartrutvam is not there. Sanchita is not there. Understand that. Sanchita means account. But the account holder is not there. While leaving itself, he gives up the ownership of the particular account in a bank. So he is not there. Kartrutvam, Bhoktrutam is not there. Sanchita is not there. Agami definitely is not there. Ajnanam also has gone. So all the components of a Karana Sharira has gone. So Karana Sharira is almost to live, almost to die. Well, with the gross body goes, it also goes. Natasya pranaha utkramanti. And causal body is not there, the cause is not there, subtle body cannot remain, sir. And gross body also, so these two bodies, subtle body also is not there. Now it has resolved and therefore it has not to go anywhere. Subtle body only lives along with the prana. Or prana lives along with the subtle body, whatever you want to say. It lives and then in search of a new physical body. But the karma itself has been burnt away. So no karma, no vasana, because subtle body also gone. No new vasana, causal body is already fragile. So no new bodies he gets. That's how he has no janma at all. It's very, very logical. How the jnanis do not have a new janma, new physical body. But the material itself is not there, which can create a new physical body for him. Anyway, so Sukshma Sharir Abhimani Taijasaha, one who identifies with this memory, etc., with the mind, part of the mind, of course the memory, of course, who undergoes the experience of dream is Taijasa. So Vasana Puja Swamiji, translate even as a just memory also, because I have told you, well, then nothing to worry about. Swamiji, impression or memory? Well, the same impression, but they are all unmanifest, become manifest in a given conducive situation, we call memory, or it has to give rise to, the memory has, the vasanas has some cause which is there, right there, and present in the subtle body as a Karana Shariram, from there it comes out. So karmas and vasanas are there, definitely, and that give rise to makes a particular group of impressions to arise. And that group of impressions, when they arise, which is called memory, from that memory, you create the whole dream world, including the dreamer. Dreamer means dreamer body, physical body, dreamer subtle body, etc. So this is how, and this is called Taijasa, the effulgent one. Why effulgent one? Because he is purely in the form of thoughts, right? Because all memory or mind, whatever you say, and therefore it is just in form of thoughts, memory in form of thoughts, emotion in form of thoughts, cognition in form of thoughts, everything in form of thought. Even the knowledge, Atma Jnanam, in form of thought. Never think of anything other than that. So even with, you please think with the thought that basically this Atma Jnanam also is in form of thought. Swamiji, thought is mithya. Yeah, I know thought is mithya. The Atma Jnanam mithya? Atma Jnanam mithya? Definitely mithya. Then you are a teacher of Atma Jnana? Yeah. Then you are mithya? Yeah, I am mithya. Definitely. Shastra is mithya? Shastra is mithya. Everything mithya. Everything mithya. Then for what purpose we are listening to you on Zoom? All this is mithya. To know that Jiva is mithya. Basically, the Jiva who approaches for the knowledge is equally mithya. Okay? That is how it is. So everything is like this. This is just a vyavastha in which everything of a same reality, it transact with each other. Not that Atma which is Satyam appears, goes to the Guru and the other Shastra, etc. For what? For what he has to go? If Atma is Satyam, if I am the Satchidananda or the truth of the entire creation, why should I go? So, since the self-confusion is there, which is mithya, Well, to remove that notion, you have to adopt the means, otherwise it won't work. If the reality is of the same order, then only some kind of a transaction takes place. Even Ajnanam is mithya, and therefore it goes by mithya jnana vritti. Please understand this. And therefore people have this kind of a confusion. This Atma Jnanam is of which category? Yeah, Atma Jnanam is mithya. It is in the form of thought, and therefore it will go. Everything other than Atma is basically mithya. It may be ignorance, it may be Maya, it may be anything. It may be Shastra, it may be anybody's. I'm the Guru, Guru means in terms of the body. Everything is mithya. And therefore, then only it can work. Shastra works for the Shastra equally mithya, and that works because the Jiva also is mithya. Anyway, so this whole thing, the experience of dream is in the form of thoughts only, definitely. And therefore, it is called Taijasa, because every thought is not a dark. Every thought is all the time effulgent. As the thought arises, as the water appears, definitely sun reflection. As the mirror, so the reflection. Same way, as the thought, it will be reflected with the consciousness. It's all thought. Therefore, every thought is able to throw some light for yourself. Every thought is able to throw some light. Good, bad, whatever it may be. But it throws light. Thought cannot throw the light. Thought cannot illumine anything. Thought illumines because consciousness. It's a consciousness reflected in the thought. And that's how every thought is basically illumined. And therefore they say the whole dream world and even the dreamer also who experienced this dream is also in the form of thought. And therefore it says dreamer is called Taijasaha, means a Jyoti, effulgent. And very beautiful name. So Vishwa we have seen, because he is a complete, he identifies, he enters here and identify. He has to identify. If Jiva without identifying with the physical body is complete, then why should he enter? Why should he enter here? He has to enter here and identify as a Jiva with the physical body also. That's how complete. After identifying with the physical body only, Jiva is complete. And therefore, because that's the purpose for which he has entered, and therefore he has to identify it. That is the purpose. And so Jiva's manifestation is complete when he identifies with all the three bodies. Of course, but we have talked about Sthula Sharir Bhimani. I have told you other two bodies you have to consider. Here, same way, Sukshma Sharir Bhimani, you have to consider it. He has identified with the causal body, that much. These two bodies he has identified with. But basically he is called Taijasa because he is purely, the dreamer is purely in form of thoughts. Even the dream world also is in form of thoughts. And that's how in Upanishad it has been described as a Jyoti. Very beautifully explained in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, and that is called Swayam Jyotir Brahmana. They're very nicely established with the help of a dream and deep sleep, etc. that Atma is nothing but a consciousness. Very beautifully explained. And there they have taken the experience of dream, that in which light the entire dream world is lighting up. The whole dream world is full of all the, like the stadium, full of light with so many that flashlights or something. What? And same with the whole entire dream world. Every nook and corner of a dream world, everything you are aware of. And there is darkness also is lighted up in the light. There is darkness. You may see something in dark also in dream. That also is lighted up. Then therefore, what is that light? Because so-called these physical lights like sun, moon and fire, all are out there. And yet the whole dream world shines. What is that light? That's how it has been asked. And then it's called as Swayam Jyoti Brahmana. This Atma, which is basically self-effulgent. Swayam Jyoti means self-effulgent. In the light of that self-effulgent, entire dream world, which is in the form of thoughts, light up. And therefore every thought is lighted as conscious, I mean, and therefore it is called Taijasaha. And Taijasa means what? Oh, Swamiji, it's a dreamer. Well, then, in dreamer, that ER is Atma. That's all you take. Because dreamer means a conscious entity. Okay. Then in dreamer, that ER part is a conscious entity. Waker, that ER part is a conscious entity. Rest other than that is inert. So dreamer, ER is conscious. And then the other thing, what is dream? Well, that is inert. So this is how it is. Waker. So ER is basically conscious entity. And waking state or waking world is inert. This is how we have to take. Waking world plus consciousness. And then definitely a consciousness gets a qualified as though to experience the waking world, called waker. And the same consciousness after dying away from the waking experience, well, enters in a dream body, dream senses, identify with the entire dream physical body, dream senses, dream mind, totally identify with that and light up the dream world, entire dream world. The dreamer is also basically, ultimately ER is a consciousness and the dream world is basically it's inert comparatively. No, Swamiji, everything is created from mind and you say ultimately it is all lighted up. This ultimately is non-separate from consciousness. Yeah, sir. That's correct, sir. But I have the dreamer and dream world, waker and waking world. Ultimately everything is non-separate. But I am explaining you that the dreamer as a conscious entity, you see yourself as a conscious being, as a dreamer. Well, then definitely that ER part is a conscious entity and the dream world is inert, which you light up as a dreamer. So there also, then Swamiji explains that hearing, speaking and all these actions are there. Well, definitely we see ourselves as a seer, etc. and hearer and speaker. So that ER part is conscious and ER is that Atma. That way it is explained. Anyway, so we only thing is, okay, we'll see tomorrow now because today I have to give you one very, very, very important meditation which I request all of you to do today. Either you listen to this or you note down the words, whatever you like. So I take your some 5 or 10 minutes. It's a very short meditation, but this is very important. In fact, I should have given you in the beginning, but anyway, chalo, let's okay. The contemplation upon the nature, upon the truth of oneself does not involve thinking. What I have already appreciated by the study through the teaching, the essence of the teaching is myself. That self I objectify in my mind as it were. With the help of a word or words, these words or a given word reveal the truth of myself. I keep on seeing the meaning of these words. Seeing the meaning is no thinking. I just see the meaning. Thereby, I become the seer and the seen together. This is the secret of meditation. Nididhyasanam, contemplation. But this seeing should take place in the depths of my mind. I should first discover the deep mind. The moment I sit for this contemplation, my mind should become one that is very deeply silent, very deeply silent. If one knows what one's deep mind is, it is very easy for one to own such a mind. To get such a depth of the mind, just do the sum, SUM, that I will be giving. Mentally, do the sum. Addition and subtraction. And have an eye where exactly the adding and subtracting takes place. Have an eye upon it. Somewhere you will see deep within yourself this mental sum takes place. The place where the sum takes place, that is the place where we should do japa, where we should do nididhyasana. Now just add, as I say, 7 plus 4 plus 5 plus 9 plus 8 plus 12 minus 15 minus 3 minus 8. Don't disturb that mind. Keep it as it is. It is deep. It is silent. In that silent mind, begin seeing the meaning of the word consciousness. I. The meaning of the word consciousness. 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 Repeat. In that silent mind, the word consciousness. Seeing the meaning consciousness. Consciousness. I. Formless. Consciousness. Perhaps I am the silence. Consciousness. I. Silence. Formless. Consciousness. I. Consciousness. Keep seeing the meaning. Consciousness. 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 Om. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.